Good morning, everyone. Um, we're going to wait for a couple of minutes for the rest to join, and then we'll start shortly.
So hello again, everyone. We're just waiting a couple of minutes and then we're gonna get started with our webinar. Thank you for your patience. Okay, Dr. Noura, I think we can get started.
Thank you so much. Thanks, everybody, for joining. My name is Noura Abdelwahab. I am the lead gender expert for the Water Energy for Food MENA Regional Innovation Hub. And I would like to welcome you to our fourth Women Innovate Network series of webinars, where the MENA Women Innovate Network was launched in May 2023 at We for Food MENA Regional Innovation Camp in Cyprus. And the Water Energy for Food is a joint international initiative of the German Federal Ministry of Economic Cooperation and Development, the EU, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Government of the Netherlands, the Norwegian Agency for Development Cooperation, Sweden through the Swedish International Development Cooperation Agency, and the USAID. The objective of the Women Network is to tackle a series of topics that are related to women in business who would benefit to grow their business, or to present role models for business women and women entrepreneurs that excel in specific aspects and discuss needed incentives and policy level recommendations. And today, we are pleased to be with you in our fourth webinar and return to our core mission, that is sharing the power of knowledge and sharing success stories for women-led models that can inspire women-led and managed SMEs to apply for similar opportunities and to get to know more insight about the impact of fellowships on women's business. Stay tuned with us for an interesting webinar. And now we're going to watch a small video to introduce our panelists and their innovations. And after each video, each panelist shall introduce herself.
Agriculture has always been the foundation of the Egyptian civilization. Today, 45% of the food is lost even before it reaches store shelves. That's why FreshSource was born. FreshSource is the MENA region's first agri-supply chain platform, leveraging data and technology to transform the lives of producers, businesses, and consumers. We're leveraging data and technology to transform and streamline the fresh food value chain. By changing the way that fresh goods are moved, sourced, and sold, we're decreasing food loss and making sure that farmers are increasing their income and improving their quality of life. We're extremely proud of our food loss rate, which is under 5%. We make sure that the profit goes to the people who deserve it the most, our farmers. We want to make sure that we're building sustainable fresh food systems across the entire MENA region. By ensuring that what we eat has been ethically and sustainably sourced, we're securing the lives of future generations to come.
Thank you, and we're pleased to have with us Farah Haimara. Farah, would you like to add anything to introduce your company, FreshSource, and the audience are interested to know more about Farah Haimara, the successful woman behind FreshSource? Over to you, Farah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Noura, and it's my pleasure to take the panel today with my fellow colleagues. FreshSource, like the video said, we're the MENA region's first B2B agri-supply chain platform launched out of Cairo. We've grown now to around 100 people, serving over 500 customers, and are expanding beyond Egypt. So we're very excited to see that flourish. My background is more from management and entrepreneurship, where I worked at Endeavor and Procter & Gamble before launching FreshSource with my co-founder and my brother, Omar Amara.
Thank you so much, Farah. Pleasure to having you with us today. And moving to the second video.
If there is a local challenge, there is a local solution waiting to be realized. I came across tons of shrimp waste from a fishing village, and I was surprised that there's so much untapped potential. My business is chitosan Egypt. We collect seafood waste and extract a biopolymer called chitosan to make 100% organic and affordable pesticides. We empower smallholder farmers through organic and affordable crop solutions to be able to overcome climate risks as well as secure economic stability. So far, we've been able to reach 5,000 farmers, and through that, 25,000 rural citizens. We have this big goal about democratizing sustainable agriculture so that nutritious and healthy food will become more affordable and accessible to the mass public.
We're pleased to have with us Shahira Yahya. Shahira is the co-founder of chitosan Egypt. Shahira, would you like to add anything to introduce chitosan Egypt? And also the audience are interested to know more about Shahira Yahya, the successful woman behind chitosan Egypt. Over to you, Shahira.
Yes, about my company, chitosan Egypt. So we're MENA's first industrial facility that is specialized in the biopolymer chitosan and chitosan derivatives. And we've been lucky enough throughout our journey to not only operate in Egypt, but we've also expanded, currently expanding into 3 new markets across the MENA region. About me, a fun fact is that actually I'm an industrial designer by education, and I specialize in waste to resource innovation. So it's no surprise why I'm doing this. I'm definitely fascinated about waste.
Thank you so much, Shahira. Now moving to the next video.
As a child, I saw wastewater directly rejected into rivers. So I made it my mission to find a solution for access to safe water and sanitation for all. My business is called Green Watech. We have created an affordable and low-tech water plant that treats wastewater so it can be reused in agriculture for food production. green water. It doesn't require any energy. We use natural aeration and gravity to make water flow. We teach local population in rural areas how to maintain their own lands by themselves. We also give workshops about the impact of clean sanitation. So far, we impacted more than 15,000 people and treated more than 200 million liters of water. Seeing the impact on people's life is just amazing, and it really drives me to keep going.
And last but not least, we have Dr. Salma Bogarani from Green Watek. She is actually the first winner of this year's fellowship, and we're delighted to have her with us. And over to you, Dr. Salma, to introduce yourself and your innovation. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Noura. It's a pleasure to be here today. Yeah, my name is Salma Bougarani. I'm co-founder and CEO of Green Watek Social Enterprise based in Morocco. At Green Watek, we are not just treating wastewater, but we are revolutionizing the way rural communities access to clean water to irrigate their lands and their farms. And as my grandmother nominated me, I'm the water doctor, which is quite true because we are treating wastewater. Yes, for instance, we are working in the Moroccan market, but our vision is to expand to other African countries. Our aim is to start with Mauritania, Kenya, and Rwanda. We already start some negotiation with these three countries. Yeah, and looking forward to share more knowledge about Green Watek with the audience. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Salma, and we are really pleased to have the three of you with us today to celebrate your success and to share your success stories with the audience. And as we all know that the Cartier Fellowship Initiative is a very prestigious award and only select like top-notch women-led SMEs for this award. And starting from the motivation, can you please share with us, Farah, what attracted you about this specific award and why you were motivated to apply for it?
Sure. So actually, I was familiar with the Cartier fellowship and the Cartier program from, I think I would say 2013 or 2014. So from the first year that they launched in it, they got contact, they launched it, they contacted Endeavor. And at the time I was working at Endeavor, and they asked us to nominate Egyptian women that can be part of the program. So I worked closely with them and with the woman entrepreneur. And at that time, I had just, I had graduated a few years before. I was still an intern. And it was just always on my bucket list since then. I saw the amazing woman that took a part of it. And it was always a goal for me. So I knew that no matter what I did, this is something that I wanted to apply to when I had been working, you know, for 10 or 12 years and was worthy enough of applying to it. So that was the first thing. The second thing that made me apply to it at that time, so I missed 2 years before that on purpose because I believed that I still wasn't ready to apply to it, and I wanted that when I did apply to it, I'd be more confident. So I waited a few years and then applied on my third year, and alhamdulillah, and it went through. But other than just the association with it and the prestigious award that they give you, obviously there's a lot of support that comes from just different workshops, different tracks that you can take, whether it was financial literacy, storytelling. And I believe that that was something that was going to benefit me a lot while building Fresh Source and growing it along with my co-founder. طبعا the monetary prize didn't hurt as well. So that was just the cherry on top.
Thank you so much, Farah. It's really inspiring, and that you were really keen when you saw, like, from Endover, your previous company, that someone has applied to it, the benefits that you would would come along with this fellowship, and really amazing. And now moving to Shahira, and following your news and how I believe that you had really fun time in China. Can you please share with us your motive, and how did you first know about the Cartier initiative, and what was your motives for applying to it?
So actually, I first learned about Cartier when I was just in high school, graduating high school to be more exact, going to still preparing to go into uni, figuring things out, and back then there were a lot of, it had a different structure, but there were a lot of Egyptian women that were selected into it as laureates. And I was fascinated by all of these things they were doing, how they commanded spaces they were scarcely ever in to begin with, specifically in the cultural context of the Middle East back then. We're talking a good 15 years plus here. But I was fascinated with this idea that I could be part of a network of other very strong women from across the globe. They're from different paths of life, different cultures, and also operate in very different economies. And the idea of that I could also have that recognition of that collective group of women was very, very inspiring and very motivating for me. And definitely, as Farah says, the monetary prize is akid a cherry on top, but I should also clarify that actually the whole package you get throughout the whole journey, even from the very first day you know that you've already passed, all through to the ceremony and the camp, the INSEAD camp, and then after, all of that actually far exceeds that award. And is really something that money cannot buy, because for women that are currently growing in their businesses or are looking to go to that next step of scale, it's really very, very important to be able to access that level of expertise and tap into a collective experience of others who've done it in very different contexts as well.
Thank you so much, Shahira. So it is like self-esteem, tapping into the networks, the power of knowledge, and also the prestigious, I believe, award in itself. It's seeing these role models, and then you are placed in the same, you are in the same situation. I believe it meant a lot to you. And moving to our water doctor, Dr. Salma. What motivated you to apply to this award, and have you heard about it before?
Well, hearing the amazing stories of Shahira and Farah has been truly inspiring for me. And yes, actually, the Cartier Women Initiative is a highly respected initiative for women-led innovators, and I'm honored to be the first Moroccan recognized by this prestigious program. When I applied, I didn't fully understand the process or what was required, since there were no previous example from my country to take as an example. But still, I was really and highly motivated to apply for several reasons. First of all, Greenwater, as I said, is driven by a mission to democratizing access to safe sanitation for all in Africa. And Cartier Women's Initiative commitment to supporting women entrepreneurs aligns perfectly with our vision in Greenwater. And I see this as a unique opportunity to amplify our impact on a global scale. From another aspect, in terms of access to expertise and resources, as Shahira mentioned, Cartier offers precious resources, including mentorship from various leaders, access to a global network, and of course, this supports significantly and accelerates our growth, not only in the Moroccan market, but also in other MENA region. MENA countries. For example, for instance, we are getting a professional experts advice to improve our marketing strategy and to update our branding, which definitely will help us to grow not just in Morocco, but also in other African countries. The third element I would like to mention is validation, and this is very important. Being recognized by Cartier gives us a huge boost and validates our work. It has truly changed how we see ourselves and how the others see us, actually, either including clients, partners, stakeholders. So this exposure and credibility associated with Cartier was really instrumental in expanding our influence in Morocco. So if we can say we are just reaffirming our belief in the importance of our work and encourage us to push boundaries even further. And of course, beside that, Cartier opens opportunities to new partnership and collaboration, helping us to make a bigger impact. During our 2 weeks in Shenzhen, we met amazing women entrepreneurs, incredible talent, if I can say, warriors, and each one with their own inspiring stories, background, and experience. And the friendship we formed, like with Shahira, are incredibly valuable. And I believe this connection will lead to great collaborative opportunities that combine both personal and professional growth. And Cartier also offers significant financial, as the other follow state, awarding as 100K USD to the top 3 businesses from each categories. Since Green Tech is actually and currently bootstrapping, this funding really help us to accelerate our projects, scaling our impacts, and expanding in a rapid way to other MENA countries. Yeah, this is from my side.
Thank you so much, Dr. Salma. And it's amazing that how you excelled in this area as the first Moroccan and also the top winner of this award. Congratulations. And we'd like to know from the 3 of you your experience from the fellowship, and given the comprehensive 2 weeks of networking and attending executive trainings with different tracks with the prestigious INSEAD University, can you please explain what is the impact of such networking, trainings, opportunities on your business in terms of the growth of business and also what you have learned? Starting with Farah, can you please elaborate the impact of this fellowship on your business?
Sure. So the first aspect that had direct impact, I believe, would be the track that I chose. So I chose the financial literacy tracks, just to add some more information. That you get a different tracks that you can choose from with professionals within those tracks that then are responsible for providing you with guidance and mentoring you until the program. So maybe they support you for around 2 to 3 months. I chose the financial literacy one because we were fundraising at that time. So I believe that, you know, the support I could gain support in working with the model that I had with our cash flow and our forecasts and all of that. And they connected me with a great company that was based out of, I think, Singapore. And I worked with the 2 founders of that company, and they supported me with the complete financial aspect of our data room. And that was really useful. It gave me more confidence when I was pitching to investors. It gave me actually better clarity to restructure our own financial department. So we have a financial department of around 5 accountants, and they just supported me to clarify the roles between them and to have better procedures and processes within that department. So obviously, that for me was the most valuable. And then there was the INSEAD experience, which was just, it took me back to university. So it was a really good heartwarming experience. The other candidates that were with me, we became really good friends. And that course was about social entrepreneurship, which I had never studied in university. So it was eye-opening to see what are the theories behind social entrepreneurship, what are the tactics that we can use, and what other diagrams and so on. So it was good to see the educational side of it rather than just experiencing the executional and day-to-day works of it.
Thank you so much, Farah, for this elaboration. Indeed interesting. And now moving to Shahira. Would like to elaborate which track did you choose and why you have chosen it, and what did you benefit from the whole experience, training, networking, and what impact did it have on your business?
So regarding the track, I actually chose the track for sales development, sales and marketing development, and that is mostly because of the growth we're currently going through. Locally, we have a lot of opportunities that are opening up in the market due to recent economic challenges / opportunities, but also because we're entering new spaces that we hadn't been in before, and there is definitely a lot to learn about that, despite the fact, yes, we have done it for all of these years here in Egypt, but it's a totally different toolkit elsewhere. But I would like to actually speak a lot about the experience of the 2 weeks, which is just 2 weeks out of a whole year plus of an experience of fellowship. So actually, since you get notified that you are shortlisted, that you've been come in as a finalist, all the way till you go to the camp, and thereafter, it's actually a little over a year. And throughout that process, there's a lot that happens, but the 2 weeks specifically were really invaluable because there's a lot of value that comes with the fact that you would take yourself out of your context, your comfort zone, the day-to-day operations, the grinding, all of that, and just be in another space that's just about sitting and learning, having dialogues, discussions, and sharing and connecting with other people that are going through the same experience, but even if they're from totally different markets. And that for me was really, really important. It came at a time that I needed it because we were at this point where we were like about to just skyrocket into totally new markets and spaces in our business. And it was really critical for me to take that time to be able to learn. And I hadn't done that for a while. For me, I really, really, truly believe in investing in self-development. And as Farah said, because of the day-to-day operations and how busy it gets, you get used to learning on the go. There's so much value in being a student sometimes, and trying to see the science that's behind what we do, social entrepreneurship. Especially that has developed immensely over the years, and INSEAD has taken leaps in putting frameworks around it and knowledge kits, knowledge resources that can help guide you forward.
Yeah, amazing. So like the power of learning, power of networking.
The networking, If I could add just one last point. So for instance, in networking, so as Salma was saying, because we're the same cohort. Like for instance, right now we're talking about that. My team is over in Morocco. We're looking to see how we can arrange something on our next tour there, because that's one of the markets we're heading into. And she's coming over to Egypt as well soon. And when you have that, it's not just about the friendships you made in the 2 weeks or throughout the fellowship, but things that continue after, knowing that you can go to a totally new market and have someone that's cheering for you, that is in your corner and can help connect you to who's who. That's really important. Helps you navigate a lot of ambiguity while also having someone to really be able to comfortably communicate with any fears or challenges you may see in that step.
Thank you so much. Really inspiring, like tapping into the power of network making friends, contacts that can support you in different countries is really encouraging to go through for women to apply for these types of fellowships. And moving to Dr. Salma, can you please share with us your experience about the program, which track have you applied for, and what have you learned, and what is the impact on your business, your future expansion plans? Over to you, Dr. Salma.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I have to say that the connections I made with other fellows, entrepreneurs during the INSEAD camp have opened doors to new collaboration and partnership that are critical for our growth. During the INSEAD program, one of the most valuable insights I gained really came from fellow entrepreneurs who shared their experience in different topics, including managing rapid growth while maintaining a strong company culture, the importance of establishing scalable processes, and how to maintain the company's core values, how to recruit and retain talent, how to measure and evaluate impact, exploring various exit strategies, and so many others. We quickly realized that despite difference in geography and business type, we all face similar challenges. And this realization made us feel less isolated, I will say. I remember someone in our group exclaiming, "Oh my God, I've been struggling with this issue for 2 years, and now I found the solution in just 2 minutes, thanks to someone who generously shared the tips they are using in their business and much more." So that was really invaluable. And all what I already mentioned was really and particularly relevant for Green Tech as we prepare to expand into other MENA countries. And by adopting a scalable process, we feel really and more confident to manage our growth more efficiently, ensuring our sustainability goals and company culture remains intact while we are scaling. And also the executive training program delivered by INSEAD also equipped us with advanced leadership skills and strategic insights that I've already started implementing in our business. When I came back to Morocco, I said, okay, now I learned something new, let's try it. And honestly, it started to work. So we are recording some fruits of that. And yeah, so for instance, the focus on scaling strategies, and this is the track we choose, is branding and scaling strategies, has really refined our approach to market expansion, allowing us to really identify the most promising opportunities in the MENA region, as Shahira just said. And also, yeah, the leadership models and the insights shared by the different fellows have enhanced my ability to manage our team more effectively, fostering a real culture of innovation and resilience. So this program was just wow in my point of view.
Thank you so much. So it's like the power of learning, scalability, leadership, knowledge. This is all amazing and really worth it to apply and benefit from these fellowships. And so in a nutshell and in summary, if you'd like to give a message to women entrepreneurs and business women from different countries across the whole globe, what would you tell them? What is your advice to them, and what would you tell them about this experience, this fellowship experience, like a few words? Farah, would you like to give advice to business women and women entrepreneurs?
Sure. So my advice for this program would be to really, if you are applying for it, to really prepare well. It's an extremely lengthy application process. And I think, Shahira, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it took maybe 2 or 3 months even for their due diligence. They spoke to our farmers, they spoke to our investors. I think they even spoke to people from our team. So you just have to, keep in mind it's as if you're applying to Harvard, for instance. So it's a very, very, very long application process. I'm surprised they didn't ask, me to sit any exams or anything. But keep that in mind and give yourself plenty of time to actually do the application process well, so that it's not, you don't get accepted on a technicality or on something like that. And then my other piece of advice also in terms of this program is I think that you should just go for it. So I didn't apply for it the first 2 years of being part of Fresh Source because I felt like I wasn't ready. But if I would go back in time, I would have still applied for it, seen what their feedback was, gotten it, worked on myself. So every time there's an application that I missed, that was a missed opportunity to learn and to gain feedback. And I saw with the other members of the cohorts that it was their second, third, fourth time applying. I think I was one of the very few ones that it was just the first time applying. And the ones that it was their second and third and fourth, they were either first as the laureate or second place. So I actually believe that they gained experience from that, worked on themselves, and then reapplied and made it got a better chance. So I would say just go for it and don't think that you're not ready like I did.
Thank you so much, Farah and Shahira. What is your advice to women entrepreneurs and business women?
Definitely second a lot of what Farah said. I don't want it to sound scary. It is what we mean when we say lengthy is that it's a good thing. Knowing that you've passed through those steps and come out in end as a fellow is in itself is a really big thing. So if we're talking about CWI, Cartier Women's Initiative Fellowship, it's been around for 17 years. There are 300 women around the world across 11 categories. So that's a lot of network to get into. And it's really important for them as well to maintain that everyone that comes in has something to add. And that is what is important. Also, it's a very key part. I'll for sure just rephrase what Farah said about giving yourself time, if it's in CWI or anything else, to get into that mental space where you're able to articulate your thoughts. Don't let it be something where you just repeat what is said in another application, and also try to be very selective with the types of applications you apply to and get accepted in, because that is also a very critical part of it. It is like applying to university. Because in a way it is a recognition that really stays with you for a very long time of your career, and you want to have really crafted it very well and be articulate when you're talking about yourself, because also a lot of the application is about you as a person, and sometimes us as women entrepreneurs, the lines blur about who we are as people and who we are as co-founders, and it's important to have that space to think about that, because that in itself will be a very big part of your journey in the fellowship going forward. So that's mostly my opinion on it.
Thank you so much, Shahira. It's very inspiring. And now moving to Dr. Salma, what is your advice to business women and women entrepreneurs for this type of fellowship?
Just go for it and be authentic, because it's really can be a game changer. You can access to financial resource, as we say, through grants, but also through loans up to 200K USD, access to visibility and credibility, networking opportunities. I must say that after our time together in Shenzhen, I have now 30 sisters across the globe, spanning various industries and regions. So this diversity is a powerful asset. You will have access to executive training and to the sense of community that this kind of initiative foster, you will realize that you are not alone in facing the challenges of running a business. The shared experience and mutual support within can be incredible, empowering. So I have to say that entrepreneurship is challenging, and female entrepreneurship is even more demanding. Female entrepreneurship in the green sector presents its own and unique set of difficulties, but just you have to be bold, resilient, and believe on your ability to deliver. Female leadership is different, but it works. This is my final words.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Dr. Salma, and the amazing Shahira and Farah. So we have talked today about the power of learning, the power of networking, leadership, scalability, getting off your comfort zone. So I believe that this is also one of the most important things, to get off your comfort zone. Give yourself a chance, give yourself time for the application, and get over your fears, and get on this adventure for like getting to know other wonderful ladies from across the globe. And we have some questions. We have a couple of questions that I would like first to start by, what is your advice to women who are still in their early career and haven't started yet their entrepreneurship journey? So what would you advise them how to get ready for this?
I can answer, Dr. Noura can start.
Sure.
I would say, at least this is what I believe put me on the right path, is to join an entrepreneurship support organization. It gives you a front row a seat into seeing all the opportunities, seeing the challenges, the obstacles they face, without actually being forced to solve these issues. So it's a great way of understanding what entrepreneurship is all about, and not having to, the responsibility of actually solving these problems. It's not your company. And if you pick the right organization, then you can start building a very strategic network from the first day. So for me, that was Endeavor. It automatically gave me access to 60 different countries with the highest of mentors, most successful entrepreneurs. I spent 5 years there. Actually, I really did not want to leave just because of how much I was learning. And if I had just started a company from, straight out of university, I don't think I would have achieved 10% of what we were able to achieve yet. So that is my first piece of experience, first piece of advice. Even if it's just joining as an intern, even if it's just joining for a year, you will gain a lot of value from it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Farah. And Dr. Salma and Shahira, would you like to add on?
Yes. Actually, I really, it resonates with me what Farah said. Actually, when I was a fresh grad, I had initially stumbled upon the idea of my business. But for me, I felt it was still very early to take the leap to turn it into a startup. It was very early days, and there was a lot of work to be done. And I wanted to make sure that I as Shahira, was built well enough, at least for the start, the first days of it. So, and then to be able maybe to invest on the go after, as I have luckily done so. So when I first stumbled upon it, I was like, no, I will go to another entrepreneurship support organization. I went to actually Egypt's very first social incubator, Nahdat al-Mahrousa, and then I joined a consultancy agency also in the Egyptian market that worked a lot with waste management specifically, because that has been my fascination since my uni days. And it's a lot to learn when you're able to stand in other people's shoes but not have them be your shoes. And that set me up a lot by the time I got to my angel investor and started my business, I had really built a really good network. I had gained a lot of insights. Also, an alternative pathway usually is joining a corporate that is working in the field you're very passionate about, but you really need to have your northern star very, very clear where you want to go so you don't get stuck in that. But in a way, doing that for a good 3 to 5 years, at least, I'm saying 3 to 5, would really give you a good gauge and insight onto what are the things you can actually tackle, which is a really important question when it comes to entrepreneurship. Because at the end of the day, you want to make sure that after you've built all of this good foundation, that you're really tackling something that is worth your time, but also worth the market's time. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Amira, for these very useful insights. And Dr. Salma, would you like to add anything to the question?
Yeah, Dr. Noura, I cannot be more agree than Farah and Shahira, but I can also give my personal example. For me, Green Watech is the fruit of my PhD studies. So I decided to run a PhD study in water treatment and in low-tech water treatment, because it's something that's I was really passionate about it. And I started PhD in low-tech wastewater treatment, while all the students here in Morocco are working on high-tech technologies. So it was a kind of challenging to find a laboratory that's follow you and so on. But then, and I moved to Germany, to China, to find the solution for it. I didn't stay only in Morocco. But then when I came back, all the R&D was there. So I just fostered the 5 years of my PhD on my business, on Green Watech. The only things that was missing is the business side. Okay, now I have the technology, but how can I sell it? That was really key. So that's why I joined 2 incubators here in Morocco, where I learned about business model, about how to attract more clients and so on. So it's really key to find the balance between both technology and business and business side.
Yeah, thank you so much. So I think that the common answer is, of course, finding the balance between your business idea, the technology that you're bringing, and also the technical aspects that you need to learn from incubators, accelerators, or if you start your career with a company as an intern, as an employee for at least 1 year or a couple of years, to learn the fundamentals of business, and then you can start your own career. And we have another question. Radwa, would you like to pose this question yourself? Please feel free to unmute yourself and pose the question to our panelists. So I can say the question: can you describe a significant turning point in your entrepreneurial journey? So if Shahira, you're smiling, probably you can take that question.
No, I'm laughing because where can one start? No, I will let it. I'll leave it to Salma and Farah maybe, because I don't know. I work in a really intensive business market, so there's a lot. There are a lot of turning points.
Sure, Dr. Noura, I'll answer. I think Radwa meant it as a positive, but unfortunately, the only things that come to mind at the moment are negative turning points. But a huge learning experience for me, and I think it actually changed the way that I operate. It changed the way that I lead the company. Was a few years ago when our first theft incident took place. طبعا companies from the smallest to the biggest, there's always a chance of stealing or fraud, etc. And we were working obviously in the agriculture field. We're working with a lot of different types of people, and we tried to put the mechanisms in place to avoid that and have a lot of trust in our employees. But a turning point for me was the first time we discovered this theft incident, and it just made us or it made me change kind of the lens that I work with, that you can't just always assume the best in people. You can't always take for granted the great trustworthy employees that you have, and transcend this belief into all the other employees that will join your company. In the beginning, let's say the first 20 to 30 people we hired, we had a lot of trust. It was a very family-like culture. But when the organization grows to around 100 people, you have to have the right governance in place, and not be as naive as, you know, a first-time founder could be. So unfortunately, it's to always double check everything, and check what people are doing, get external audits, and so on. But that for me was it taught me a lot about life in general, and people, and how to deal with them, and relationship building. So it was a negative experience, but it had a positive outcome, I would say.
Thank you so much, Farah. And I wonder if Dr. Salma or Shahira would like to add on, positive or negative.
Salma, do you have a turning point you want to talk about?
Just go ahead, Shahira. I have too many also.
I share most of them in the camp. So the turning point for us was actually when we started at the very beginning, and we were very focused on just being Kaitazan manufacturers, and we didn't want to do anything else except Kaitazan and derivatives. We wanted to focus all of our R&D and energy on what we could do on Kaitazan itself as a biopolymer and how we can work with it. And then we went, to the agri market, the agrochemicals market. And we're like, hey, we have this cool biopolymer, and it can help you transition to more organic or at least sustainable products. Would you like to work with it? And then there was like, we say it in Arabic, sarsur al-haqla, but like just silence. There was nothing. And I remember I engaged over 350 companies to be able to find a valid opportunity where I could sell it to the industry. And there was just no response at all. And a lot of cases, very harsh criticism and rejection. There was like, no, nobody cares about that. It's just, let it be. Agrochemicals have worked for some time, for a good 70 odd years, just let it be. And then we were like, no, this can't be it. This is not right. The fact that there is so little R&D in this industry. So then we were like, okay, what are we going to do about it? And we were like, we're going to do our own end products. We're just going to really, we started then to have this organization model where we had a holding and subsidiaries, because we were already working across different other industries, such as textiles and animal feed and so on. And we're like, okay, we're going to do agriculture, and we're going to do our own end products, and we're just going to take it to market. And that was a very big turning point in our company's life. And I'm very thankful for a lot of the rejection I got back then, because I don't think they could have done the job as good. So yeah, it is in a very big way positive, but back then was very, very sad. But yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. Amazing. And Dr. Salma, would you like to add on? Anything you'd like to add on?
Yeah, just small thing. We were thinking when we start Greenwood, that's our main clients could be the government, since we are selling wastewater treatment plants, and yeah, it took 2 years to sign the first contract with public ministry here in Morocco, and we were so happy to sign this contract. Yes, the achievements. And when we wait 9 months to get paid. So you cannot imagine our cash flow statue during this year. And we had to iterate all our business model to change our client to go for a B2B to C model and framework to go for private first and so on. So in business, I think that's we really need to be really resilient and iterate each time we need to do. So this is the best way to do.
Thank you so much for sharing your amazing experiences, positive and negative. And I believe that even the negative gives us the courage to continue if we have the persistence, and it is lessons learned. Over the long term, sometimes we look behind our back and laugh. And sometimes we feel grateful because we failed at one point, and this was really a pushing and inspiring for us to continue with, and move forward. Thank you so much. And just one last question. I have it for, I hope I'm pronouncing the name correctly, Husibo Kakini, the CEO of Zonal. She's saying that in Central African countries like Chad, there are just few women innovators due to assistance issues. And what type of technical or financial opportunities can they have? And I can take this question. I believe that there is a number of regional incubators, accelerators that might be available for you. And hopefully we can voice this to other incubators and accelerators, and also our sister hub in Central and South and Central Africa hub to reach out to you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for attending this webinar and sharing your experiences. Thank you, Shahira, Farah, and Salma, for sharing your wonderful experiences and being with us. Thanks to all audience. And the power of network and the power of sharing knowledge. And I invite you all to scan this barcode and become part of our Women Innovate network and join our WhatsApp channel. Thank you so much. Looking forward to have you in our future webinars. Bye.